just had never seen before, and it was awesome.
Okay, yeah, I did catch that.
Yeah. Maru got out of it because he's a wizard of some kind, but he was dead to rights, and then somehow won anyway. But I don't know. I've been a fan of Prince since then. I believe he beat Special to make it out of his group too. So he's good. He's a really talented player. Yeah, he did.
I know. Yeah, because Spear beat Special too. So
yeah,
these rookies doing good.
But, I know. Well, Prince. I mean, this was first time in GSL. I don't think it was first time ever like playing professionally, but
yeah, his first breakthrough in a sense.
Yeah, might have been season 2 as I'm looking at it here. Yeah, it was season 2, and he did take a map. Okay, so it took a map off of Maru. That's right, one map off of Maru, one off of Scarlet, which is pretty impressive.
Wow.
Too. Yeah, so Prince is good.
I'm
excited to see what he can do.
We've said his name a lot. Anyway, in the bottom right, here he is. Prince is a Protoss player, for those of you that don't know, and he's rocking the red today.
And in the top left, we've got a blue Terran player. It is Dream.
I think this TvP... Sorry.
Well, go ahead.
I think this TvP should be really good, because I personally just love it when there's, like, a bit of an unknown factor in this matchup. Like, what is Prince going to do to try and mess with Dream?
Yeah, for sure. I think PVT is in a really good spot right now. There's a lot of engineering bay blocking going on, too, in this matchup.
I love it.
I know, for some reason in the last month, Terrans are like, you know what we can do? Engineering bay block Protoss. It's like, yeah, we can. What? Do this the whole time. Like, where did this come from?
I played a ladder game the other day that I double eBay blocked to Protoss.
Nice. It's just, I don't know. It's always funny to me when the meta changes in a way that's not the result of a balance change at all. Like, there's nothing that would encourage engineering bay blocks now. It's like, no, they cost 10 minerals. They're the same they've always been. The builds for Protoss have always been the same. But for some reason, we're seeing this all the time. And this is actually, Prince is just going to Zerg it and just take his third base as is natural. He's got a pylon coming up on the left side of the map, too. Probably going to be a Stargate, if I had to guess.
Yeah,
I feel like... I just feel like TvP's in a pretty good spot. I haven't really watched or cast a TvP where the player won and I was like, well, that race is overpowered in this match.
No, TvP is 1,000 times better these days.
Yeah.
And I still attribute that to the ghost buff that we got.
Yep, for sure. Enhanced shockwaves, making the EMP range bigger, making the circle and radius larger was fantastic.
These guys, look at this.
Oh,
Starport versus Stargate, Starport? Who wins?
Port versus Gate. Place your votes now. Who's going to do better with this?
I think it's going to be the guy who... I think it's going to go Prince's favor, but we'll see. Sometimes Protoss react to this situation a little bit funny. Like, there's a chance that Prince may just recall his Oracle to try and deal with Dream's drop.
You think it's going to be a drop, or do you think it's going to be a Banshee?
I think he was planning on elevating Hellions into Prince's base.
All right, I like that.
I saw some Protoss pros complaining on Twitter about this, so it must be good.
Fair enough. Okay. And yeah, we actually saw Maru do that to
Trap
in GSL yesterday, so it was good. It killed, I think, 16 probes.
Oh,
in game 1, it was brutal.
This is gonna be a Void Ray.
What the? And okay, this makes sense because they made the Void Ray build faster and made it a little cheaper and made it a little faster.
There's absolutely nothing for Prince though, really. In his main, he's gonna have the one adept there. He's literally got one adept and a Void Ray. The Void Ray will eat the Widowmine shot, but Void Rays are better than Oracles in the sense that they can eat a Widowmine shot. They can eat 2 though, so Prince is gonna have to micro that. The drop for Dream, unloading in the main base. It's gonna be a lot of dead probes.
Yeah, sure is. This adept is doing her very level-headed best, but that's not happening.
No,
the probe deaths. I mean, they got 2. Hey, 2 Hellions dead.
They're doing okay, but the problem is now it's going to bounce towards the third base. There is a shield battery at the third, though, so that's actually huge. And, I mean, does Dream have a way to deal with these Void Rays or not?
Okay, this first game's already insane. This is going to turn into something nuts. I mean, it already is, but I'm feeling it. We're going to end up like some weird base race. All right. So that is both players losing a ton of workers. The Void Rays, unlike Oracles, can keep attacking forever. They don't need energy for that.
Yeah, and Dream, all that Prince has to do is play dodge the Widow Mine, and Dream actually can't make any more Widow Mines because he doesn't have any more gas, and the Void Rays are sitting right over his gas geysers.
And I mean, Marines, ooh, Viking, love this choice.
That is big.
Yeah, that Viking, if it's micro properly, will absolutely destroy these Void Rays.
Okay. I did not see that Viking coming out for Dream. He built it across the map and flew it in, but yeah, that's actually enough for him to resecure his main.
And the Void Rays are going home. So both... Actually, what's going on at the third base of Prince right now? There was something in there. Oh, it's going home. Is it just Hellions?
The Hellions, yeah.
Okay, so just Hellions. Flying right into Void Rays. Bad news for them. So what are we looking at? 33 to 21 workers. Prince has a massive worker lead and a base count lead here. Army supply fairly similar. The Void Rays counter the Hellions incredibly well.
Yeah.
And I think Prince is in a good spot.
I think he's in a great spot, actually. He's got his third base, or his natural, I guess, pretty much almost saturated, but then he's actually building his third Nexus. And he's got a very, very good worker count. And Dream just doesn't have a lot to work with. He's going to lose his starport to these Void Rays, just melting that away. And yeah, the Terran player's just building his extra barracks now. And he took such a big economic hit, so much lost mining time to those Void Rays.
He's got Mule. It was a great comeback thing, but yeah, still.
Yeah, Prince lost probes, but his mining was really less disrupted.
I guess he's got Chrono Boost as well, which is also a good unit. So,
Chrono Boost is a good unit, yes.
Yeah. So charge on the way here from Prince. It's really, it feels like standard PvT stuff right now. Charge, Blink, probably getting any combination of Colossus, Disruptors, and Storm, or sometimes all three, depending on how long the game goes.
Look at this. This Nexus is going to be saturated so quickly. 3 Nexus pumping out probes.
Yeah, it's going to be not Zerg level fast, but pretty fast. And on the other side, Dream going into Tank Marine. He's going to try to get into Ghost Tier sometime around the 10 or 11 minute mark, I'm going to guess. But for now, just Marine Tank should be good enough. There's not going to be a lot of splash damage for Prince. Although that Templar Archives is coming up, and that Storm's going to be done sooner rather than later.
Yeah, this could turn into a Charge Lot Archon all-in by Prince. And I think Dream could potentially hold something like this, but he's got to see it coming if this is actually going to be an attack.
Yeah, I mean, Charge Lots, especially before the upgrades get too crazy for both sides, are really good against Marines.
Yeah.
And that is largely what Dream is rolling with here. Stim's not done. Combat Shield isn't done. I mean, they don't take forever to research. Prince can. I don't think he can make it across the map and do something before that finishes, but yeah, you're right. It's just going to be Archons. No Storm in production at all. All right, Charge Lot Archon it is. As someone who's played Terran, how do you handle this?
You build a wall.
Okay.
Like, if you're not ready for this, and you just do the Terran thing, in which you go la-di-da-di-da and walk out your base, and then you get a bunch of hugs from Zealots. It's just a bad time. So actually, Dream scanning here is a pretty big deal. He's seeing an Archon. He says he's going to be saying, "Why would you make an Archon? Either you're expecting an attack from me, and you felt that you really needed an Archon, or you're going to be all-inning me." So I think Dream's probably wise enough to sniff this out, but then at the same time, he salvages his bunker out of his natural. And I think he's going to move out, and that's might not be the best decision.
Does he have a third? Oh, he's working on his third CC in his main now. Okay, so he's working on it. He's just so far behind on base count.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know why the Phoenix are bothering with that Viking. Like, I don't know what the Viking is going to do at all to help. Adepts somehow snuck into the natural base or going after several of these SCVs. Yeah, there we go. Harassing SCVs counts for something, and really keeping the entire Terran army goes home for these Phoenix. Which it just allows Prince time to build 100 more Zealots and several more Archons.
Yeah. Now, the lack of Psystorm is actually going to be good for Dream. That's kind of making his mass Marine play acceptable. Like, if there was Colossus or actually Psystorm, Dream would be in big trouble, but I think the Marine tank composition will do all right against this, as long as Dream sees this is coming. Like, if you get surprised by all these Zealots, you're not ready to start kiting back, you are in big trouble.
So he's sending something up the right side of that middle path. What is that blue dot? A Marine. Okay. So he's trying to see what's going on while trying to deal with this annoying Zealot harassment. that Prince is trying to get done. That was cleaned up very well by Dream. And he's got a drop, and Prince is pulling back again. What are you waiting for, Prince? He's getting a 4th base?
I honestly expected Prince to attack by now. I guess he's just so comfortable in this game. Maybe he doesn't want to like risk throwing it on a big attack, so he throws up a 4th base. He throws up a Robo and a Forge. I guess maybe it's like, did he spot the 3rd base of Dream? No, he never spotted the 3rd base of Dream, so maybe that's why he says, oh, it's a 2-basing Terran I'm going up against. And that would be a bit of a missed call if he's thinking that, because Dream does actually have his 3rd base up now. He's getting up to an R8 SCV count, and he's actually got Ghosts on the way. And Ghosts against Zealot Archon is an amazing composition.
Yeah, especially with Enhanced Shockwave coming in there. We can see it on the production tab. Really helps to get a larger number of Zealots or a larger clump of Archons. Dream's not really in a
this could be really bad.
If he just goes up the ramp right now, I think he does pretty well.
Dream throwing up a wall frantically. He's going to need some really good EMPs on this army, and he hits them, but is there still too much Protoss as Prince expertly lifts up those Phoenix, and the Terran army, just quite a bit of it was out of position in dropships dealing with that Stargate. This is a lot of Protoss here for Dream to deal with.
That's your GG. It's 150 total supply. The Marines are not trading well here at all. He has to abandon his 3rd while Prince's 4th base is coming in. And I think that's it. I think if you're on 2 bases at 12 minutes against 4-basing Protoss, you're just not going to win the game. Dream is trying to stutter step as well as he can. The Marines do trade pretty well against Archons, but with the Zealots buffering, nice EMP gets tossed down again there.
Yeah,
that's
GG.
it. GG. Wow, that attack went way better than I thought it would.
Yeah, I think Dream just wasn't quite in position to receive that.
Yeah, for some reason he had a lot of his army dealing with that proxy Stargate over on the left side, and that was it. So very strange indeed.
So the first map win goes to the guy who would maybe be considered the underdog in this match.
Yeah, I think officially would be considered the underdog, but again, Prince has taken some maps off some really great players. He took a map off Maru not too long ago. If you can do that, your PvT is pretty good.
All right, we'll get everyone on into the next map, which is going to be Pillars of Gold. And we'll see. Looks like
Pillars of Gold, a misnamed map because there are no gold bases on it, unfortunately.
That is true.
It's true.
Okay. Looks like Prince wants just a second. And seeing as how we've got just a second, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and hit that Matcherino link up. You can contribute free money to the prize pool. For the players, there's various quests and things you can do. Using the coupon code AW64, you can give them 50 free cents, and that encourages players to come back to these events.
It sure does. If they remember the time that they made a good chunk of change competing for Africa World, then they will come back next time we come calling. So, makes a lot of sense. So yeah, again, this is free money. This is you giving them money that you don't have to actually pay for out of your own pocket. So, I mean, it's just time. It's just like 30 seconds of time. You go to the site, you'll log in with something. You can log in with Twitter, with Google. You can make your own direct login for Matcherino if you want. And they'll appreciate it. All right, so like we said, Game 2 is here on Pillars of Gold. And I've actually, after all this time, I've gotten used to the whole countdown at the start of the matches. LaughNgamez, you'll be glad to hear.
Me too. When it first came out, I was typing GLHF twice. Because I'd type it on the loading screen, and then I'd be like, okay, my instinct would kick in. I'd be like, okay, game starting, type GLHF again. So... takes a bit of time to get used to.
Well, for me, it kicked in my instinct of like somebody left the game, because the pop-up, it felt like, I don't know, it made me feel like somebody had left. And so every time I'd be like, oh, my opponent left the game, or oh, somebody on my team left the game, what? And then they hadn't, and I was like, oh, that's right, it's the countdown. Anyway, we're good now. We've acclimated.
Yeah, it takes us a bit of time to get used to things when things have been done one way for 10 years. But here we are, in the bottom left-hand side of the map. It is Prince.
And in the top right, it is Dream from Brave Star Gaming. I like their logo. I always have. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Little bear lunging at you.
Yeah, it's kind of like a crest or a coat of arms almost. Like you
yeah.
got the bear, you got the jaguar, I think.
Uh-huh. The probe harass is eternal in PvT. I mean, this has been going on since the early days of Brood War. The more things change, the more things stay the same. And actually making a Reaper this game. You don't see a ton of Reapers in TvP these days. I think a lot of Terran is just like, I know what they're doing, and it's so hard to get anything killed against a good Protoss player. And it's more of a scouting unit, and I'd rather just have a Marine at home to defend anyway, and so they skip it. But not today. Looks like Dream's interested in getting that Reaper out. We'll see if he can get any kills at all, because usually the timing works out to where you've got a Stalker or an Adept ready to rock as soon as that Reaper shows up, and then his whole day is ruined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does affect how the Protoss has to act a little bit still, though, respecting that there's a Reaper out on the map. But look at this. Prince just tosses up a shield battery in his main base and says, nope, not dealing with that. And that's been a bit of a topic for discussion for Protoss players lately, like whether investing in the shield battery early on is worth it or not. We'll see, though, as this Reaper jumps right on in and is going to set to work on one of these probes. The battery's not quite done yet, though. The probe's running, but he did not live long enough to reap the benefit from that shield battery. So that was nice for Dream. He's now got to deal with this Adept coming in. It's one Marine, an SCV, but a second Marine joins on up to set to work on this Adept. Dream actually loses 2 SCVs to that. So nicely done by Prince.
Yeah, that's some good harassment for sure. Oh, the shade away. The escape is complete.
Yeah, until the Reaper finished her off. But now we take a look. There is a starport on the way for Dream. He's got 1 Hellion on the way. Get the feeling he's going to land that factory on the reactor just because Hellion drops, Widowmine drops. So common once again. But no, he's actually going to fire up 2 Marines and just make a Widowmine.
Yeah, a Widowmine, which feels like more of an offensive play than an offensive play.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to help deal with oracles that might try to kill him, but it is a robo opening from Prince, so no oracles today, probably. Not yet, anyway.
All right, we've got Charge on the way for Prince now, and he's actually pulled primarily out of gas, if we take a look in his main base.
This is almost like a Charge Lot War Prism All-In against Zerg.
Yeah, it actually is, and this kind of build isn't unheard of against Terran, but this is really hurting Prince, that he's losing all these workers, and oh, the Hellion actually gets into the main base. Look at this. Prince tries to fake putting probes back into the gas.
And I think he successfully did. I don't think Dream's like, aha.
I think Dream might have seen the probes moving and been like, why are those moving?
And as soon as it's gone, he takes them off gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the heck?
This is going to be a big charge all-in against a Terran.
Yeah. He's like, let me do this strategy that was really hot like 6 months ago against Zerg and do it against Terran right now. It's a weird idea, man. But
Prince,
you know, sometimes
likes his zealots.
And sometimes weird ideas can catch people off guard, and then you win games you normally wouldn't. It's kind of crazy.
Widowmine's going to burrow. Prince has got to split off those probes. He does a good job doing that. One of the mines gets cleaned up. Looks like the other will be pushed away. And I'll say this is actually important for Prince. The fact that Dream didn't get into the main base to kind of scout out again. But something's got to be missing for Dream, I feel. The fact that he didn't see an attempt at a third base. The fact that he saw no gases at the natural. That's
a huge tell. So big.
Yeah, unless Dream, like, sort of mind games himself and thinks that, say, he's like, oh, I killed those 4 probes earlier, and he's just recovering from that. In reality, Prince is just already starting to warp in zealots. And yeah, Dream actually had an SCV randomly sent across the map to scout out. He figures there's something missing. But here we go. Looks like
it's just yeah, I know. I'm just so weirded out by this. I've never seen a Protoss try this before.
Oh, they sniffed this out. They're not gonna take down the Prism, but the Zealots kind of just warp into their death. SCVs get pulled as the attack is starting right away. The Raven hasn't even used its energy yet, though. So
I kind of wonder if the tank was doing more damage than good there. Some friendly fire splash on those Marines and those SCVs.
It might have been, but this still is a really solid defense from Dream so far. Really, really good defense.
It's just such a weird attempt from Prince. I don't know what else to say. Why? Why would you do this?
I mean, I respect him for trying something.
Yeah?
But it's like just losing the probes early on sort of threw him off, I guess, and the fact that Dream is just good enough to scout it out, to be like, oh, there's no third Nexus yet. You weren't mining your gas. Something must have felt off, and that's why we saw actually really good positioning from Dream. Like, he had all of his Marines in this choke and the tank behind it.
And he's got the wall at the natural base, too, which is something he didn't have in Game 1.
Yeah. So, really good response from Dream, and now Prince has got a late third Nexus, the capability to make a bunch of charge lots, and that's about it. Although, there we go. Comeback potential on the way with Psystorm starting up.
He says the Widowmine medevac went back in with its low health and it could have died, but yep. That is true, Aki. That was a risk, but you need to take risks to win StarCraft 2 games.
The Raven for Dream hunting this Prism. Maybe trying to catch it warping in and then drop a bunch of turrets, or is it just gonna try and go kill some probes? I think that's its intent.
Yeah, just some turret harass. Works for me. Yeah, army supplies double right now.
Look at this Templar.
Oh, he knows. Oh, that's a feedback. See ya.
Oh, there we go. Nicely done by Prince. I mean, he still may die to this big attack from Dream, but that's a good start for him. He does have Templar in the Prism. Do they have energy for Psystorm? That's the question. Yep. Yes, he does. Oh, beautiful Psystorms.
Oh my gosh. Is Prince going to win this game anyway?
Oh my gosh. He cleans up all the tanks.
The Marines are trying to kite as well as they can. The Zealots are so hard to kill even when they're low on HP like this.
Oh my god. Dream's army just evaporated.
Storm, man. Good unit.
Yeah. Wow.
Dude. Okay, this is absolutely insane. If Prince is going to do a completely failed charge lot all-in off of 2 base and win anyway, I don't know what even to tell you anymore.
He's got 2 Archons that are very, very muscly. Yes. And look at that, a big warping going down with Zealots just saying, maybe I can take this all the way home.
Maybe, but I mean, the big victory here is that Dream can't take a third base while this army's out here.
No, he can't.
And Prince has got his third warping in. He's mining from it already. He's way up in workers count. This is crazy. Prince, you're having a good day, man.
Yeah, he's having a very good day. The fact that he's warping in more and more units, I think he's just planning on going for the big attack.
I think so, too. I mean, he's still got 60 workers on 3 bases, but yeah, the fact that his production tab is empty currently, just waiting for that additional round of warp-ins, maybe waiting for the +1 attack. Oh, he just started +1, never mind. Waiting for that would be a while. But going up that ramp, I mean, I don't care if you have a bigger army with the storm and stuff. Going up that ramp is probably death. So I think it'd be better to sit out here, make sure that Dream never takes a third.
Yeah, I think that really is the right call.
Here. It's like Zerg. I mean, if Zerg and Protoss both don't attack up a ramp into Terran. I guess Terran's the same way.
Look at this, though. Like, he's waiting for the perfect engagement, and this could potentially be it. The Terran player is kind of in transit right now. And look at this. Yeah, Prince is just going to go into the natural. Okay, Here we go. High Templar storming the ramp as the bio tries to come in. Is there another storm? Yes, there is.
Oh, the Zealot's getting right into that mineral line. The storms are just keeping the bio at bay. The SCV count is plummeting. They're evacuating to the third base. Can't quite get into the main base because the supplies raised supply depot here.
Yeah, I think maybe Prince should have recalled there after getting his damage done because his army does get cleared and he taps out.
What?
I guess Prince figuring he just lost everything and would die to a counterattack. Okay.
I mean, okay. It takes a while to get across the map, but all right.
Yeah, that was a bold attack from Prince, like trading out a lot there. I mean, he lost everything. He didn't have Templar across the map or whatever. But
sure, but he was up like 20 workers. He had 1,500 minerals and 600 gas in the bank. That was far from GG. I have decided. I've made my decision.
Yeah,
that was premature.
Like, when his units were up on the ramp, there, I would have liked to see a recall right away.
Yeah.
Because he'd got most of the damage done he was going to get. Like, a handful of Zealots and Archons weren't going to win him the game. And then if he was just to recall, even get out, like, a handful of the units, then it would have been a playable position, I think.
Could have been. Oh, Aki says we haven't updated the lower text.
That is my bad.
Good call.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aki. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not generally a fan of my attack on the other side of the map fail GG. Like, I guess maybe if you're a Zerg player who 12-pooled and brought your drones along, right? So you have no economy, you put everything into this, and everything dies, sure, you're done. But in that case, he had the better economy. He hadn't pulled any probes. He had, basically an extra base up on the Terran. If he warps in some High Templar, waits for them to get Storm, doesn't take that long to get up to that. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think Prince could have played that one out more. Anyway, here he is once again in the top right. I'm really enjoying his TvP so far.
Me too, it's great. And then in the bottom left of Oxide, it's Dream.
And Dream says it's time to get cheeky.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably an engineering bay block. I don't think it's going to be a proxy, but it could be.
I think this is barracks timing. For the eBay, I think you go a little bit later.
And based on where he's going to.
Yeah. There's that dirty barracks.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the timing for an eBay block is that it's pretty much you send out the SCV as you're about to start building your barracks. Okay. And then you'll get there in time, whereas Dream sent out his SCV beforehand. So pretty much as he started his supply depot, and that's the proxy barracks timing.
Gotcha.
All right. Prince shows up with his probe and says, "What's up?" And Dream says, "Just proxying you."
Obviously. Or I've completely forgotten to pick my barracks, which would be unlikely.
The ultimate mind game.
Yeah. Was that Hearthstone? Where he's like, I pretended I was AFK?
Yes, that was a great video, I'll admit.
Hearthstone's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot of fun. His whole "is it Imba or do I suck" thing is... I'm super jealous of that idea. Have you seen any of those?
I haven't actually sat down and watched one.
So basically, he has people send in replays where he's like, I got beat by this, but that's only because something about the game is imbalanced, right?
Oh, okay.
So is that true? Is this an imbalanced aspect of the game, or am I just bad? And it's such a genius way to approach lower-level games that I wish I had thought of it. It's really good. Like, there's a game where the Protoss is like, I warped in some DTs into the Zerg's base and killed his economy, and then I tried to finish him off, and he just had too much stuff. It was ridiculous. He rebuilt his army so fast. And we watched the replay, and he does. He kills like 30 drones, and then sits on the other side of the map for 7 minutes and does nothing. He's got a huge army, and he just decides not to move out with it. It's incredible.
That's a classic right there.
Yeah, good times. Anyway, Reaper doing stuff. Any probes die? Oh, 3 probes down today. Not too shabby.
Yeah, I think that's like it's one more than you usually get, I think, with the Reaper. Is considered anyway. Acceptable, yeah. With the Proxy Reaper, I think it's pretty much like guaranteed 2 probes.
Yeah.
But then again, Dream lost an SCV in there as well, so alright. Good response by Prince.
Definitely. Could have been a lot more damage, but as it stands, Stalkers are so good against this composition. Yep. Reaper's dead. Stalkers are trying to get as much damage as possible, abusing their cliff hopping ability.
Yeah, getting all good job by Dream. Does he get 2 more probes? That's pretty good damage.
Yeah, that's really good. He'll load everything in there, but he's hurting the economy of the Protoss pretty well, even with Chrono Boost. It's even.
8 probes going down already. That's really, really darn good for Dream. He also spotted the fact that it was a Stargate. And then just, 8 probes for 2 Reapers, a Hellion, and an SCV. That's a good trade for the Terran. I like
Excellent
this.
opening, Dream.
Prince, not to be deterred though, goes for a 4 minutes, so pretty much as quick as possible third base, even though he took that economic damage. And he's just gonna try and work his way through it. But oh dear.
Oracle escape. All of like 4 HP. Yeah, Viking Cyclone means oracles go away. That's exactly what that means. Also Warp Prisms, also Phoenix. That is just like a very much get out of my backyard style opening.
Yeah, I really like this choice from Prince, however. Just to be like, yeah, I'm going to build a third base regardless of the damage I took. And so he's going to have a really good economy going, and Dream doesn't have anything to leave his base to scout, really. It is going to be 3 base against 3 base. Prince hasn't scouted that, which I'll actually say is pretty significant. But the fact that he's also just got his own third on the way without a care in the world, I think that's a really good position, or a really good choice by Prince.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like maybe a better Terran like Maru would have been up there harassing that third base, but not today. Dream is happy to sit on his side of the map and defend whatever shenanigans Prince is trying to send his way. Man, did you watch the King of Battles, Cyril Maru little best of 3 they did?
I caught part of it, yeah, and it was pretty darn good.
It was amazing. It's a really incredible set of 3 games, but game 1, Cyril did not make adrenal glands.
Oh.
And it was a 27-minute game.
All right.
And he was using Zerglings all the time. And it was making me insane. Yes! He was going Ling, Bane, Ultra, Infester? He must have lost 600 Zerglings, and none of them had adrenal glands. And I was like, how does he not see? How does he not know? It's taking him way longer to kill stuff than it should at this point in the game. How does he not know what's going on? He never built it.
That's painful.
I don't know if it was like, I can beat Maru even without adrenal, or like some kind of weird challenge he was giving himself. I don't know how he didn't see it and get it started at any point. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen from Cyril.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's all. Spoiler alert.
Well,
Cyril forgot adrenal.
Everyone seemed pretty happy with that series, so.
Definitely. It was ridiculous anyway.
I still hope we get it at a LAN at some point in the future.
I know, right?
That's the ultimate dream.
Yeah. There might be a good chance this year. Maru's looking really good.
Yeah.
And that's usually been the problem, is Maru just chokes earlier than he should.
Like he loses to like stats or SOS when no one expected him to.
Yeah, he always gets embarrassed by someone who is not favored against him, especially a Protoss. So
it's always a Protoss that Maru's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna play some random StarCraft matches here.
Well, I remember that one against Stat. Was it BlizzCon last year where we faced off against Stats and just did the same thing 3 games in a row, and Stats just smacked it every time? It was so strange.
It might have been SOS, or it might have been Stats.
SOS.
It's always SOS or Stats that Maru had lost to.
Yes. So a bit of a drop here from Dream. That's a lot of Zealots and Stalkers.
Yeah,
so let's get out.
Prince likes his Zealots. And he's got a prism full of Templar in. So we could see some more big storms.
I mean, ever since they got their speed buff to where with charge they're faster than Marines are with stim.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You can use them like Zerglings. You can use it to hit a base and escape, which I think is the big deal here.
Yeah.
Because you could always send Zealots in to attack a base, but they weren't getting home. They could not outrun Terran.
Now they can.
Yeah. Which I think is a huge game changer. Hurricane did that against TY in a game that I cast recently. Just constantly using Zealots as little like hit and run tactics, and it was really effective.
All right, Psystorm's going down. Dream is so clumped up as the Zealots surge forward. Oh my gosh, Dream is so dead. Or maybe not. He's still got a lot of supply, but this is a big attack from Prince. The Prism is still alive. It hangs on. So another Warpin's going to go down for Prince. The problem is Dream had units across the map. Dream's still at an alright supply position against this, though, and Prince's army isn't taking the best engagement following this up.
No, I'd argue not. And actually, Dream holds on. He loses 8 SCVs, but he largely cleans up the army. Actually, is that... Man, this is the place that Prince GG'd in the last game.
Is he going to GG this time? Like...
He's actually got some more stuff back home. He got some Archons coming in.
Yeah. It's not a good spot for Protoss, though, when you lose your entire army and have to rebuild it from the ground up. Even with this kind of composition, because just of the way that Terran Bio scales. And so we see this Protoss army... Stalker's getting warped in to try and do what they can, but it's going to be a hard hold here for Prince. He doesn't have a battery at his third base where he's going to take the fight. He's going to try and push Dream back, and it looks like he will stem the tide for a second, but...
Yeah, that's... I mean, you can always push Terran back, quote-unquote, if you have Zealots. It's just a matter of if your whole army dies and theirs doesn't while they're doing it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the Archon... Yeah, it does bonus damage versus everything here, but if it can't get close enough, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, Prince just isn't killing anything the Terran has.
The reinforcements keep cruising up from the middle. Good flank attack, though, coming in. Friendly fire.
Yeah, good usage on those Zealots, dragging the Widow Mines.
Very nice.
The mines actually, one of them's recharging. Oh, big mine hit.
Where's your detection? I
don't see any observers. 2 Colossus are getting chrono boosted. But there is
no observers in... Oh, there it is. Nothing in production, but one was already out. Dream thinks he can do this. He's taking a 4th base behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, nah, it's looking pretty GG. That's a big chunk of Marine Marauder.
Prince is going to have 2 Colossus in a second here. But,
yeah, he's got nothing else. Yeah, GG. Man, Prince, kind of overextending here. He looked so good in game 1, and then game 2 and 3, he's just like... pushing a little bit too far, a little bit too committed to attacks that aren't going to win. Lost everything, and then that was that. So, boom, comeback.
Our next match is going to be on Submarine.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not vetoed. Like, it really feels like players are more interested in playing in Submarine recently, and I'm not sure what changed exactly.
Yeah, I guess they don't like some of the new maps or whatever, or...
That's interesting.
Like, what map is liked less than Pillars of Gold, basically?
Well, but Pillars of Gold was played all the time in professional tournaments. It was the first, second, third map a lot. I don't think the players hated Pillars of Gold. Or not Pillars of Gold. Did I say Pillars of Gold? I did
Submarine.
Say Pillars of Gold. I meant, no, I was thinking a different map. Yeah, you're right. So I don't know. The new maps are too new, I think, for players to be vetoing them already, but maybe they are.
That could be part of it, and I get the feeling that it's probably just that, like... I'm not sure which race it is, or I guess we could actually check the vetoes after this game.
Yeah.
But that one of the races basically would rather spend their veto on vetoing another map, whereas Submarine they're fine with. So maybe Prince doesn't like a map less than Submarine.
Yeah, okay. So it just comes down to what previous vetoes were.
Anyway, here we are in the top left-hand side of the map. It is Prince.
And in the bottom right, he's looking good. It's Dream. I mean, to be fair, he's kind of benefiting from Prince's inability to recognize a bad situation and go home. But
yeah.
But nevertheless, he's playing very well anyway.
That could just be part of Prince's play style. Just like the fact that he's making mass zealots and things, he puts himself into those bad situations. But I definitely do agree with you that he could definitely be doing something else. And oh, what a beautiful scout by Prince. Dream's got to cancel this, doesn't he? There's no way this finishes.
There it is.
As Dream begrudgingly says, well, fine. Builds his barracks at home. Does Prince try and punish this by chrono boosting a zealot across the map, or no?
I don't see why not. It at least forces, you know, the Terran to respond somehow.
Oh. Prince moving across the map with a probe. Gonna be looking for a cheeky place to drop a pylon, and he finds one. We'll see. I'm guessing Stargate again, because of how game number 1 played out.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, if you're gonna hide tech, it's gonna be farther away to the edges of the map. So that location to me says Stargate. And there it is, Stargate coming up.
Oh. Prince going for the battery. Reaper's moving around the map. Shows
Looks
up
like
at
we're
the
being
natural.
And that's a dead probe. All right. There you go. That's what we're talking about.
Could be another dead probe. Prince elected not to pull that back, and that was a mistake.
Sure was.
There's a depth out on the map, but the bunker's done. So yeah, that worked out really, really good. Really, really good for Prince. Or for Dream, pardon me.
Yeah, Oracle on the way here. Gonna try some sneaky shenanigans.
Yeah, there's actually not much anti-air at all for Dream.
Yeah, no Widowmine. Widowmine on the way. This Widowmine placement's going to be really important, although is it going to be here in time?
Yeah, it's not going to be done in time, I don't think. And if you're the Protoss and you see the Terran burrowing the Widowmine, you can just dance around it. So, yeah, in comes Prince. He just says, hello, here's an Oracle. Nice to meet you.
He wasn't careful at all. He just
he knew.
right into that mineral
for
line.
this.
That was beautiful.
That being said, only getting 3 SCVs, and oh, Widowmine at the natural.
He knows it's there. He's being careful.
Oh,
nice snipe.
Oh, really tempting fate.
Yeah, can you imagine if you didn't have the indicating lines for Widowmines, how terrifying they would be?
Yeah, that was a good time for Terran before those existed.
I mean, Widowmines are good, but that was insane. Alright, so turnabout is fair play. A few SCVs going down. What is this? Prince, what are you doing?
He's going for a threeacle.
Friend, why? Mass Oracle versus Terran.
Oh, he's probably going to stop at 3.
I consider 3 to be mass.
And he's making a Phoenix, so I think the play here is that he's going to use the Phoenix to lift the mine, or he's going to use the Phoenix to tank the mine, and then fly in with the Oracles and just kill everything.
No, that makes sense. The problem is there's a Viking, so not as easy.
Not as easy, no, but where is the Viking? Oh, in perfect position. Prince is just gonna be like, why Dream? Why can't you be one of those Terrans who sends your Viking across the map right away?
Seriously, go harass a probe, dang it.
Oh, Widowmine hits the Phoenix, so the Phoenix does its job tanking that. In come the Oracles, they're gonna cut up these Marines, and this could be a few dead SCVs, but he's not targeting down any specific worker, and suddenly one Oracle goes down, and that was not good at all for Prince. Oh what a disaster. As a mine kills another Oracle. That was literally, I think he killed maybe 1 SCV with that.
Well, the Game Heart would have told us if it was 2, right?
Yeah. And look at that. Injured, almost dead, almost dead. That was pretty painful for Prince. That was one of those plays that either goes really, really good for the Protoss or horribly wrong. And it went horribly wrong. Phoenix getting distracted by this Hellion and Reaper, and now Liberator shows up in the main base. Viking lands at the 3rd base. Prince is going to be taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's not looking great. The Liberator does go down. We're setting up for some Widow Mine drops at this moment. With the Widow Mines in production, the Medevac's coming in. Combat shield on the way for the bio from Dream, and he's like, why switch it up? I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing.
Yeah, Dream has decided to go for a 2-base bio play as the Terran, which, considering it's submarine, I do enjoy that choice.
Yeah, that short rush distance makes those kind of attacks really hard to scout properly, but hey, guess who's got Revelation? Yeah, Prince can do a good job scouting this. He recognizes there's not a third base. He's thinning out the Marine count, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's good indeed. And he even tagged that Medivac that was going to be used to go for a mine drop. So
yeah, both Medivacs. Look at that.
Delaying that at the very least. Another Revelation goes down.
Yep, Temple Archives here for Prince. Gonna get that Storm, which again has looked really good, but hasn't, I mean, I don't know. The last game it wasn't enough is the problem. It was good, just not enough.
Yeah, we've seen some really good Storms from Prince this series, yet he's still down 2-1.
I mean, Dream's been splitting as well as you can in those situations, but even then he's taking a lot of damage from those.
Oh, Marines grab the Oracle. That's really nice by Dream. As he sims across the map. And he gets across the map very, very quickly. But this could be a mistake of a move out from Dream. Like, this is a lot of Protoss that's now going to be moving at.
What did Prince just drop into Dream's natural base?
Looks like it was a bunch of Adepts that he had from earlier.
Okay. 4 SCVs going down.
He targets down some Widow Mines too. That's really nice.
Yeah, this SCV count, death count keeps mounting, and some of the Adepts made it out. I don't know where they went, but the proxy, Prince's proxy starport.
Yeah, I think Dream overcommitted being out on the map like this. The Widow Mines are getting some really, really good connections, though.
And you don't want to attack into that choke if you're Prince at all, not with the number of Zealots you're rolling with.
Definitely
so
not.
Prince's Stargate is gone. Dream's, third base. I don't see it. It's not in production anywhere either.
You're right about that. Yeah, this is a full-on 2-base from Dream.
Wow.
If there was a third behind this, I'd say that Prince is not in a great spot, but all he's really got to do is hold on.
Hey, what's up, John Solo 32 in chat? Welcome to the stream. Happy Saturday to you too. Saturday night Starcraft. Who could ask for more? So Army Supply 105 to 77 in favor of Dream right now, but Storm the Great Equalizer, as you always say. The Widow Mine drops. See, difference between Dream and Maru here is that Maru and like TY will definitely unburrow that Widow Mine if it's just going to fire on one probe and force additional lost mining time.
All right, here's a big attack from the Terran player. This is just so much raw bio from Dream. The Archons are doing what they can. They retreat to the overcharged shield battery to get some healing, but they are still popping like balloons. Another big Zealot Warpin going down for Prince. His units are just dying so quickly to all this bio, even if it's rather stimmed.
Yeah. One Storm would obliterate this whole group.
Oh,
but
another stim goes down. This army is so in the red, but there's just not that much Protoss. The Medivacs have been picked off, and that's really weakened this army of the Terran. The Zealots now getting on top of this. Marauders dying rather quickly. Reinforcements come forward for Dream, though. It's a really close engagement, actually.
It reminds me of the last game quite a bit here. It's not a huge army from Dream. Prince is barely holding it off with Warpins, but... And that's the thing, no third base means that Dream kind of has to win here. So the cannon's down, probes are getting massacred.
The probes.
I don't know the Widow Mine is necessary, but sure.
It's
21 probes dead.
Oh my gosh.
That second hit was huge. Third Nexus down. We are officially 2-base to 2-base. Dream is continuing to stream units across the map.
Yeah, the supply really telling the story at this point. Dream has done enough damage that you can always just throw up a third CC back at home. And that might honestly be the right choice, considering how injured his army is. The Colossus, the Archons doing what they can, and EMP hits the Archons, however, really softens them up. Widow Mine's unloading on top of the Protoss army. Dream very confident.
Yeah, the Archons are gone. A single Colossus is a good unit, but not that good, and Dream takes